Retard maxing.
When you take things too seriously, you don't bet on yourself, you don't make the calls, you don't walk up to the girl, you're just simply gonna live an average life. Some of the richest people in the world aren't geniuses, they just got guts. They will go up to anyone, they will call anyone, they will bet on themselves, they'll start the company. If you're too damn smart, you're gonna overanalyze everything about the odds and about the market and about the competition. When you're retard maxing, you're like, we should just start this company. Or, I'll just try to call him. Let's see if he answers. Or, I like that girl. I'm gonna just walk up and say hello. You don't take yourself too seriously, therefore causing you to actually bet on yourself and do what 99% of the world won't do.
Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share the video. You can support uncensored conversations via Cashapp or buying your girl a coffee. I just want to give a quick shout out to my first Faye ambassador. Shout out to Nefertiti. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. If you guys want to sign up for memberships or sign up to be an ambassador as well to receive a shout out, the link will be in the description down below. Hey y'all, I just want to pop in here very briefly, I actually mean it this time, you guys, and talk about this whole concept of retard maxing. So essentially retard maxing just means don't overthink it. And honestly, I'm so fatigued. This is another term that's overused. I'm so fatigued with everything being maxing. Okay, you got looks maxing, you got retard maxing, you got millennial maxing, you got this maxing, that maxing, and it's too much. Riz maxing, I don't know. Too many different forms of maxing. Essentially, this is a movement to stop overthinking. And what this really reminds me of is the opening for Idiocracy. If you guys remember in the beginning of Idiocracy, they talked about how the birth rates were declining for couples that should have been having kids versus the ones that maybe they should have closed their legs. What it's saying is that when you overthink, you stand in your own way. And that's pretty much the entirety of the argument. Stop overthinking. When you intellectualize everything, then you miss out on the simplicity of life. You miss out on some of the more simple, beautiful things that come with being a human being on this here planet Earth. And you miss out on opportunities when you overthink. It reminds me of this whole thing with YouTube. You have some folks, and I fell into this for a little bit. You have some folks that say, okay, well, I need to get a camera first. Then I need to get the software. Then I need to do this. Then I need to do that. Then I need to do this. And you've overthought it to the point where you never actually get it done. You've overthought it to the point where you just don't take the first step. If you're in that process of thinking, well, I need this, well, I need that list will never end. It is a way to just kick the can down the road, essentially. Rather than just taking the first step, taking a leap, jumping out the window, folks would rather sit there and overthink, overanalyze every little thing that they do. And that really keeps you from living and learning. Because look, in anything that you do, you're gonna make mistakes. So why not just jump head first and make those mistakes, especially when it comes to like your career or building a skill. Make those mistakes. My videos in the very beginning were trash. Like, let's be so for real, my editing was not good. I honestly think my editing is still not that great. I'm still trying to learn all these different techniques, make my edits cleaner, but you can never get to that point if you don't start. You never get to the point of mastering a skill if I gotta do this first, if I gotta do this first. You're never gonna walk through the door if you have that mentality. So retard maxing is just cutting out the overthinking. We've all been trained to overthink, overanalyze literally everything that we do. I think this really stems from school culture. In school, they teach you to always have the right answer. When you have the wrong answer, you get demonized. When you have the wrong answer, you get laughed at. When you have the wrong answer, you get that red mark slathered all over your paper in order to shame you. But I don't think that's really healthy, because when you get things wrong, that becomes an opportunity to get things right. Shaming people for being wrong for the first time, I don't know, especially as children, I think is crazy. I think that there are other ways to teach without it being, well, you better just have the right answer. No, it should be a process to get them to the right answer. It shouldn't be, well, let me just every time you got something wrong. No, it should be, okay, well, let's talk about why you got this wrong and what the correct answer is. Let's just talk about it. It doesn't have to be this punishment system because someone doesn't understand something. Now, granted, you have some kids that just don't give a F and they won't try, sure. But you do have some kids that genuinely want to learn. They want to do better. But those red marks, the shame, it makes them want to just curl into themselves and not even try. With that, you get the overthinking. That's why you have a lot of kids that don't want to raise their hand anymore in class. They don't want to answer questions because they are afraid that they're going to give the wrong answer. Even if they know that the answer is right, they will still cower because maybe, just maybe, a slight chance I do have it wrong. That overthinking spills into how you operate as an adult. You begin to question yourself, second guess yourself, even when you know you're right. That can be detrimental to your life. That can cause you to avoid or miss out on opportunities that are meant for you. While I think the whole retard maxing name is silly, and just like a lot of things, it's just silly, the concept itself, I do agree with. And I'm trying to work on this myself. I'm trying not to overthink things. Now, that doesn't mean we want to be thoughtless. When you overthink, you end up in the same boat as somebody that's thoughtless. Life in chaos. When it comes to any movement like this, you are going to have a lot of people that are going to try to scam you. Okay. They're going to try to sell you a course on retard maxing. Don't buy into that. I'm sorry. Don't buy into that. Every single time there's some kind of self-help movement going on, people want to profit off of it. And look, I'm not against people getting their money, but most of the time, things like this are scammy AF. I'm telling you what it is, and that's all it is. Don't allow somebody to finesse you out of hundreds and hundreds of dollars to tell you this free information that I'm giving you right here. Retard maxing is just don't overthink it. Go with your gut. Listen to your gut. Take the first steps. Don't overthink. That's literally all it is. But every single time you have a movement like this, you're going to have folks that want to scam you out of your money. While we do have a bunch of sheeple walking around, there are some wolves, and they know that a lot of people are desperate for the answers. So they'll try to sell it to you, and they'll latch on to movements like retard maxing, soft girl era, insert manosphere, whatever. Like, they will try to sell you a course on literally everything. Don't fall for the trap. Retard maxing just means don't overthink it. Go with your gut. They relate it to what's that movie? Forrest Gump. How Forrest didn't really think about much, but he got pretty much everything he wanted, except, you know, the broad he ended up with had the that part. I don't think we want to model our lives off of that, but not overthinking it and just going with the flow. Some of us need to loosen the reins a little bit. Stop overthinking it and just jump head first into success or into failure, which can then teach you some lessons so that you can then become successful.
I just watched a post from a creator talking about how retard maxing is going to change your entire life. And when he talks about retard maxing, what he's basically talking about is you just have to do things and stop thinking about them. Just do it. There's so many people who waste their potential, overthink themselves into their grave. They sit here and think like, well, if I'm doing this, and what if I'm doing this, and what if this doesn't work out, and what if this is wrong? It's like, it's gonna be wrong. Just do it anyways. No think, just do. Retard maxing is gonna change your entire life. Or you're gonna sit there and overthink yourself into inaction. You're gonna sit there and you're just watch life pass you by, but at least you got the thing right in your head. Perfect up here means nothing. 100% perfect up here and 10% perfect out there that's gonna lose. 10% perfect out there is gonna win every single time because 10% perfect out there is actually moving forward. It stays here, it dies. When you feel the pull to do something, just do it. When you feel the pull to talk about something, just talk about it. When you feel the pull to create something, just create something. You can change the direction of a car easier when it's already moving and you have some momentum. If you try to move the direction of a car when it's standing still, it's damn near impossible. You just have to move. If you're too afraid to mess up, you will never do what's necessary to make something of yourself or your life.
We shouldn't be afraid to fail. And that fear of failure is the very reason why we overthink everything. But y'all, I am curious to hear you guys' thoughts down below. How do you feel about this whole concept? Do you agree with me where it's like, yeah, we do overthink things. If we just take a step back and just go with the flow, go with our gut, then we might not miss out on all these different opportunities that have presented themselves to us. Or do you disagree with me where it's like, no, I'm gonna overthink this video, thumb thug in the comments to just be disagreeable and argumentative. So I'm gonna overthink what you said in this video. I am curious to hear you guys' thoughts down below. If you like the video, like the video. The more you interact with it, the more it gets pushed out to the algorithm. Also, hype the video if that function is available. If you're feeling a little extra generous, the link is in the description to buy your girl a coffee. Thank you guys so much, and I will see y'all with the next one. Deuces.